Hey, it's Jeff from Vita-Learn. Wanted to make sure everyone was ready for Dynamic Landscapes that gets going on Monday, May the 3rd. If you've registered, you should have all received an email directly after you registered that had a bunch of links in it, and it had a subject header that said actions required. Those actions are to create or log into your Hopin account and attach your Hopin login to our conference. Our conference takes place over the course of 3 weeks, and so there may be up to 6 different events that represent the conference in total. So here we can see on this particular screen, I've clicked on the link that lets me register for May 4 through 6. That's the second half of week 1. And you can see there's a checkout button here, and right above that you can see it even says prepaid, because this special link that I sent you is for the prepaid folks. They've already paid for the registration. They just need to get themselves set up. So go ahead and click on where it says checkout, and you'll see a screen that looks like this in all likelihood if it's your first one you're doing. And at the top there you can see it says log in. That's for those who already have a Hopin account. If you attended Vermont Fest or some other conference that took place in Hopin, you already have a login account. You can go ahead and use it. If you've never attended an event here in the Hopin platform, then down here at the bottom it says sign up with email. You can click that to create an account, or right above that you can see some of those different social links and others that you can use those credentials as well. So if you're a school that uses Google for your logins and your passwords, you could click that and use your school credential to create your login. Whatever works for you. This is what it looks like if you click on email. You put in your name and your email address, password, so on and so forth, and we end up clicking on sign up with email, and you'll have an account and you'll land here. This page represents the conference, but it isn't the conference itself, because of course you can even see here it says event starting in 1 day and 16 hours. So when I recorded this, we were a little over a day and a half away from the event actually getting going. That's this particular event anyway, which is the Series 1 May 4 through 6. Okay, but when you do get all of your various events attached to your login account, again, if you are registered for the entire conference, the all conference pass, there's probably 6 links you need to click on. And after you've done all 6, you will see when you log into Hopin, it'll say your upcoming events. And you can see here, I can see 2 of them, and I'd have to scroll to continue to see the rest. But the very top one there is Series 1. That's the first one. That's Monday, May 3, right? And so I can click on that one to enter that event, and you'll land at this landing screen. Instead of having it say, not starting for another day and 16 hours, this one you can even say it says live. The event is live. So I'm going to go ahead and click right there where it says enter event, and I'm going to go into the venue. So here we are at the reception area. If I were to scroll down on this page, I would find more information about the event in general, but not a lot of too much detail there. You can see it says visit sessions on the bottom there, and that big black box and a blue button. Let me direct your attention over here on the right. That's your kind of normal chat bar area. So there's a chat, there's people, so you can see who's logged in. There's a Q&A feature. The Q&A feature exists both in session rooms and globally in the conference. So if you use that particular Q&A right there, you're asking a question to the whole conference. And you're basically asking me a question, because I'm the only one who's going to be able to type in and try and respond to you there. But otherwise, typically in a workshop room, you'll have the same interface. You can click on that and you can ask a question, and that will get directed to your workshop presenters. On the left, you can see these are the main nav links for the system. Reception is where we are now. Sessions is where you would go if you want to attend a session. And Expo if you want to go visit the vendor booths. So remember, if you're looking for a workshop session, don't think, what's the link to get to this? This is not Zoom. It's not Google Meet. This is a conference platform, and so it's a little bit more like a virtual version of an in-world space. So if we were actually at the Killington, or we were at the university in Burlington there looking for a session, you would go into the area where all the rooms were, and you would see the different rooms. And so here we can see little placards that represent the various rooms. If we scroll down here, you'll see even more room names. That we can see the Stratton Mountain Room, the We Video Grand Ballroom, the Seesaw Auditorium, and the Synology Theater. The Stratton Mountain Room hosts the help desk. So if you're really struggling and getting lost and you need some help, go into the help desk. You'll probably find me, and I can hopefully answer some questions. Below that, you can see some of the other workshop rooms. So if I were to click into one of those workshop rooms, I'd see something that looks kind of like this. It looks a lot like what we saw before with that centerpiece, just with a different piece of information there. Note how it says here, ask to share audio and video. Remember, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Don't click that button. That means that's you actually asking the presenter of your workshop, hey, can I come on camera? I've got a question. If your presenters want you to come in live and ask questions that way, they'll let you know. Otherwise, use the Q&A on the right. and use that text area or the chat or the Q&A to be able to ask questions of the presenter or the other folks in the workshop. This is not a Zoom session where you would expect that all of you will be in kind of a big Brady Bunch grid with all of your smiling faces looking at each other. You're really mostly going to see your presenter, the slides that they share, or a screen share or something so that they can kind of give you the information and share with you. And then when they get to a Q&A or if they get to some sort of a hands-on interactive section, they may say, hey, if you want to chat, click on the button. But you don't need to do it right away. Some rooms you enter, it'll look almost identical, except note this one says share audio and video. It doesn't say ask to share like this one does. It simply says share audio and video. That means you're in a room that is set up for free drop-in. Anyone can go on, and it is not moderated. You'll find that in the Playful Learning Lounge. You'll find that in the help desk area. So there are a couple rooms that are set up where it's expected that when you enter the room, you can go ahead and just turn on your camera and your microphone and start interacting with whoever is there. So if you see that, it just simply says share audio and video. That means it's an unmoderated room. Feel free, turn it on, join in. You'll see that on our Wednesday symposium days in our breakout rooms. The breakout rooms will be set up with no moderator because they are essentially going to be the virtual version of us sitting in a big giant ballroom at round tables with 6 to 8 people sitting around a table. And sometimes we'll say, hey, turn to your table and talk. But in this case, we're going to say, go to a breakout room and chat, and we'll give you a prompt or something like that. Okay, so that's that button, share audio and video. So just kind of note when it says ask to share or simply says share. Slight difference there. And then in the expo hall, you'll see, again, kind of like the room placards, but here we see the company placards for their various resources. Go ahead and click into one of them and you'll find their resources and information. Here's Synology, and they're even offering a 10% off for all attendees. So if you want to grab that discount code, click on claim your discount, and they will come and find you and make sure that you get that code. You'll also see down at the bottom it says that there's more information there. Show more information. You'll see that both in some of the session rooms and some of the expo booths. If you do see it, what it means, you can click on it or you can simply scroll down, and lo and behold, there's more information. So oftentimes, some of the speakers have already given me a link, for example, to the workshop slides that they're providing, or maybe a handout they wanted you to have, something like that. And then I've put those links and information down below the main kind of video screen share space. So that makes it easier than having to ask in the chat, hey, can I get a link to your slides? They may have already provided it and will already have it posted down there. So look for that little triangle, and you hover over it, it'll pop up, it'll say show more information. You can click on it, or you can just simply scroll down if you see that little downward facing arrow. Okay, back on the Vita-Learn website, you will find the schedule of all of the workshops. If you remember, all of the workshops begin at 3:30 in the afternoon, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The only days that have something that doesn't start at 3:30 would be Mondays, the first and second week when we have keynote speakers who will begin at 6:30. But otherwise, all the workshops are at 3:30. Find them in the afternoon. And a couple links for you to just keep in mind. Again, when you're thinking like, where's the link that I need to go to log in to go to Dynamic Landscapes? It's simply hopin.com, and there's a sign in link button right on the main screen, or if you can remember, hopin.com/sign_in. That works too. We'll have that linked right off of the conference website at Vita-Learn. And to get to that, you can go to bit.ly/DL2021VT. That'll get you to the Dynamic Landscapes homepage. And then Monday nights after the keynotes, we're having a networking social, not about computer networks, but networking as in people. So if you want to come and just hang out, informal, I know our keynote speakers are going to stay longer after they've spoken, so there's a chance to interact with them and ask them more questions that maybe you didn't want to ask in the big venue. So do please join us. It's also a chance to check out at what's called a spatial social networking platform. It's a different way of interacting via computers and technology, a lot different than what you've probably seen for Zoom and Google Meets and other things you may have been doing for any remote learning efforts this year. You'll find that at bit.ly/DL2021-networking social. That link is also inside of Hopin, and inside of Hopin you will also find the password that you'll need to enter that space. So do please join us for that as well. And if you have any other questions during the conference, you can find me in the Stratton Mountain Help Desk room, or you can also email me at jeff@vitalearn.org, or message me inside of Hopin by clicking on the People tab, find my name, click on it, and try and text me through the system, and it should give me alerts also to let me know that somebody is trying to find me. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.